Hello player, today we will analyze the match between Hi Nakamura with the white pieces and M Carlsen with the black pieces. e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, d4, e, captures on d4, knight captures on d4, bishop b4 check, c3, bishop c5, knight f5. This move was inaccurate, the best move was bishop e3. For example, bishop e3, bishop b6, knight f5, with an advantage for white. Knight f5, g6, bishop e3, bishop f8. This move was inaccurate, the best move was g, captures on f5. For example, g, captures on f5. Bishop captures on c5. d6. With a balanced game. Bishop f8. Knight d4. Bishop g7. g3. Knight f6. Bishop g2. Kingside castling. Kingside castling. Rook e8. Knight d2. d6. h3. Knight e5. This move was inaccurate, the best move was bishop d7. For example, bishop d7. a3. Rook b8. With a balanced game. Knight e5. f4. Knight from e, d7. Bishop f2. Knight c5. Queen c2. Bishop d7. Rook from f, e1. f5. Rook from a, d1. Queen c8. King h2. h5. Knight from 4, f3. Knight e6. e5. d, captures on e5. Knight captures on e5. h4. Knight captures on d7. This move was inaccurate, the best move was f5. For example, f5. g, captures on f5. Knight from d, c4. With a decisive advantage for white. Knight captures on d7. Knight captures on d7. f5. Knight from e, f8. g4. Bishop e5 check. King h1. Bishop g3. This move was inaccurate, the best move was g5. For example, g5. Knight e4. f6. Bishop e3. King h8. With a decisive advantage for white. Bishop g3. Bishop captures on g3. This move was inaccurate, the best move was knight e4. For example, knight e4. Bishop captures on f2. Queen captures on f2. Rook a6. Queen captures on h4. With a decisive advantage for white. Bishop captures on g3. h, captures on g3. Knight e4. g, captures on f5. This move was inaccurate, the best move was rook a6. For example, rook a6. Rook f1. Rook e5. With a decisive advantage for white. g, captures on f5. g, captures on f5. Rook a6. This move was inaccurate, the best move was f6. For example, f6. Queen d2. King h8. Knight captures on g3. Rook captures on e1 check. With a decisive advantage for white. Rook a6. For example, Queen d2. King h8. Knight g5. Knight f6. Knight captures on f7 check. King g8. Knight h6 check. King h8. Bishop f1. b5. Queen g5. g2 check. Bishop captures on g2. Rook captures on e1 check. Rook captures on e1. Queen d7. Rook g1. c5. Bishop f3. Queen h7. Queen h4. Knight g4. Rook captures on g4. Queen captures on h6. Queen g3. Queen c1 check. King h2. Queen d2 check. Bishop g2. With a decisive advantage for white. Queen d3. King h8. Queen captures on g3. This move gives back part of the advantage. The best move was knight g5. For example, knight g5. Knight f6. Queen captures on g3. With a decisive advantage for white. Queen captures on g3. Knight h7. Queen h4. Knight f6. The evaluation became 4.5. This was a serious mistake. The best move was rook g8. For example, rook g8. f6. Rook g6. Rook d5. Queen g8. Rook captures on d7. Rook captures on g2. Rook captures on c7. Rook e6. With a decisive advantage for white. Knight f6. Knight captures on f6. This move gives back part of the advantage. The best move was knight g5. For example, knight g5. Rook captures on e1 check. Rook captures on e1. Queen g8. Bishop captures on b7. Rook d6. Rook g1. Queen e8. Bishop f3. With a decisive advantage for white. Knight captures on f6. Rook captures on e1 check. Rook captures on e1. Rook captures on f6. Bishop e4. b6. Queen f4. Queen d8. Rook g1. Queen d6. Queen g4. Queen f8. Bishop d5. Rook h6. Queen d4 check. Knight f6. Bishop g2. This move was inaccurate. The best move was king g2. For example, king g2. c5. Queen e5. Queen d8. Bishop f3. With a decisive advantage for white. Bishop g2. Queen e7. Queen d2. Knight g4. The evaluation became 1.4. This was a serious mistake. The best move was rook h5. For example, rook h5. Queen f4. Rook h7. With a balanced game. Knight g4. Rook e1. Queen h4. Rook e8 check. The evaluation became 0.0. This move was a mistake. The best move was queen d4. For example, queen d4 check. King h7. Rook e8. Knight f2 check. King h2. Queen captures on d4. c. Captures on d4. King g7. Rook e7. c5. d. Captures on c5. b. Captures on c5. Rook d7. Knight g4 check. King g3. Knight e3. Bishop e4. Knight c4. Bishop d5. With a decisive advantage for white. Rook e8 check. King h7. The evaluation became 1.4. This was a serious mistake. The best move was king g7. For example, king g7. Queen d4 check. Knight f6. Queen e5. Queen f2. With a balanced game. King h7. Queen d4. Knight f2 check. King h2. Queen captures on d4. C. Captures on d4. Rook d6. Rook e7. King g7. d5. Knight d3. Rook captures on c7. Knight b4. Rook c3. Rook d7. This move was inaccurate, the best move was knight captures on a2. For example, knight captures on a2. Rook c6. Rook d8. Rook captures on b6. Knight b4. d6. King f6. d7 check. King e5. Rook b7. King d6. With a decisive advantage for white. Rook d7. f6 check. This move gives back part of the advantage, the best move was a3. For example, a3. Knight captures on d5. Rook d3. Knight f6. Rook captures on d7. Knight captures on d7. King g3. Knight c5. Bishop f1. King h6. King f4. f6. King e3. With a decisive advantage for white. f6 check. King captures on f6. a3. This move was inaccurate, the best move was h4. For example, h4. King e5. Rook e3 check. With an advantage for white. a3. Knight captures on d5. Rook d3. King e5. Rook captures on d5 check. This move was inaccurate, the best move was king g3. For example, king g3. Knight f6. Rook captures on d7. With a balanced game. Rook captures on d5 check. Rook captures on d5. Bishop captures on d5. King captures on d5. h4. The evaluation became -4.4, this was a serious mistake, the best move was a4. For example, f4. King e4. King g3. f5. King g2. With a balanced game. h4. King e4. King g3. f5. The evaluation became 0.0, this was a serious mistake, the best move was a4. For example, f4. King g4. f5 check. King g3. King e3. h5. f4 check. King h2. f3. h6. f2. h7. f1. h8. Queen f4 check. With a decisive advantage for black. f5. h5. King e3. h6. f4 check. King g4. f3. h7. f2. h8. f1. Queen c3 check. Queen d3. Queen c1 check. King e2. Queen c6. Queen d4 check. King f5. King d3. King e6. Queen captures on b2. This move gives back part of the advantage, the best move was a4. For example, f4. King f5. Queen c5 check. King f6. Queen captures on c6 check. King e5. Queen f6 check. With a decisive advantage for black. Queen captures on b2. f4. Queen b4. This move gives back part of the advantage. The best move was queen d4. For example, queen d4. King f5. Queen c5 check. Queen captures on c5. b captures on c5. King g4. King c4. With a decisive advantage for black. Queen b4. Queen f3 check. King c2. Black's victory. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and leave your suggestions.